Oh, hi there. Welcome to another one of these things. Today we're just doing a little color sketch of some clouds, nothing crazy. It was just kind of a warm up exercise that I was recording, but I wanted to talk about daily effort when it comes to being an artist and really being in it for the long haul. There's this quote that I really like. It's actually from one of my favorite animes, so points to you if you can figure out what anime it's from. But it goes, hard work is the sum of daily efforts. It can be one step at a time, always moving forward. So basically, the way that kind of translates to me is about being an artist and about how that's a very long and slow road. There's no doubt about that. In my experience, I've learned that you really can't rush the learning, especially me, because I have a pretty thick head and it takes a while for things to sink in. Um, but if you're smart about the way in which you choose to work, you'll end up making it take less time. But if you're dumb about it, you can really elongate that process till infinity. It's kind of like, a rabbit chasing a carrot tied to a stick attached to its head. Maybe that's right. And it's kind of like walking this tightrope. If you overdo it and you do too much and you try to push yourself past your limits too many times, that's actually going to slow your progress because you're going to cause harm to yourself. You're going to not really enjoy art. You might lose direction. You might just be walking aimlessly, only with the goal of continuing to make things because you think that's the way to do it. And although part of that is right, if you're not strategic about it, and you're not really analytical about the way you're growing and learning, you're really not gonna go very far in your education. You kind of need to be smart about it. And on the other side of the token, you can't really be too lazy. You can't just, oh, I'll draw something once a week and I'll take lots of breaks. I want to avoid the burnout, blah, blah, blah. There's this middle area, and it's different for everyone. It's a unique area to you. And I can't tell you what that is. I can only tell you what my area is. And overall, I hope this doesn't sound like I'm trying to give you advice. I'm mostly trying to communicate things that have been helpful to me as I grew. And now that I'm looking back a little bit, I have a little bit of perspective. I can say, oh, these things were helpful and these things weren't. But something that's always been really helpful for me is finding that middle area. Um, Knowing our limits and what we're actually able to do versus what we like to do. Um, so for me, that was working really hard and really efficiently. I like to wake up early and work in really concentrated stints in the morning for 3 or 4 hours. And then, I work throughout the day and I take lots of small little breaks and I take little distractions. And then I try to wind down and do some more simple studies at night. And I'm really trying to push myself just past the point of like comfort. I'm trying to get a little tired. I'm trying to exhaust my brain here and there. It's kind of, so I can exercise that muscle like you would at the gym. And I'm really trying to grow and push myself, and I've always been like that. But there's certainly been times where I've pushed too hard, and that has turned around to bite me in the butt. And I end up getting, exhausted, or I just hate what I'm doing. And I have that, usually when that happens, I have to recompose and reflect and figure out why I'm doing this and what I'm doing it, you know, and that has happened. But it's should be try you should try to avoid that. But I think if you're pushing yourself, eventually you're gonna butt heads against that other side. But I would rather be on that side than the other side, which is just being lazy and not doing anything. um, so basically, the value of working hard is really strong, but you also need to work efficiently, not overworking yourself. And I think a great way to do this, one thing that helped me, was just doing one thing every single day. If you can show up and do something every day, even if it's only for 20 minutes, even if it's only for an hour, just do a little bit of practice. And then after the practice, don't just do the practice and hope, well, oh yeah, muscle memory. Think about what you did and how you did it and ways that you maybe could do it better next time, and try to be a little bit analytical about how you're approaching the learning, because I find that for me helped the growing go a lot faster, because I wasn't repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. I would do something and I would, write notes about how it went versus how I wish it went. And then the next time I did it, I would refer to those notes and say, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll try something that did a little different here and there. And you try things that are new, and basically you do this every day, and you're just a bit every day, one step a day, and you're building this momentum, and you can ride on that momentum for as long as you possibly can. And eventually, it'll buck you off, and you have to take a break and reset. And yeah, and I don't know. That's really all I have to say. This one was a little bit more rambly. I hope it was relaxing for you. Maybe you're working right now, and this is where I get real ASMR towards the end, and we're just gonna be real relaxing. So, alright, I hope you guys have a good day, and girls and dolls and whoever's listening. And what would be really helpful for me actually is if in the comments, if you made it this far, you're probably willing to comment. I would love it if you went in the comments and asked me or told me some things that you would like to hear about. Not necessarily demos or anything like that, but just kind of like maybe something that you've been struggling with, that you think you'd love to hear someone else's perspective on. And it could be anything. I don't really know how I'm going to keep making these videos. I haven't really given it a lot of thought. So far, I've just been doing it, Saturday mornings. I wake up, I have a cup of coffee, I do a little drawing, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do a little video. It doesn't take that long, maybe 10 minutes to record one, and then another 20 minutes to edit it later. And yeah, it's not that much effort. I need to keep this low effort, because if I start putting a lot of effort into it, then I lose a lot of time, and I need that time to do my daily practices, as we were just talking about. I practice a lot every day, but not to the point of breaking. Like, I think yesterday, which is, time is relative in the YouTube sphere, because, you could be watching this in 10 years. I doubt it, but yesterday I just spent the whole day playing video games and relaxing, and that was really nice. And it was just because I genuinely didn't want to draw, but I felt like it was okay to do that, because I had spent the last week really, really practicing and trying and giving it my all, and I felt I had earned that break, where other times I don't feel like I earned the break, and I feel guilty for taking them, which is also nice, because then through that guilt I'm encouraged to try harder when I'm ready to get going. Anyway, clearly I've had a couple too many cups of coffee, and I hope this has been relaxing and maybe educational.